Everyone is doing well. Welcome back. We're back for another year. Back for another year of FPL. I've got to get used to this live streaming again. I haven't done this in too long, but looking forward to being back. Looking forward to being back, guys. So let me get all the essentials up on the screen for you guys, because I imagine there's a few things that a few team leaks that we want to be aware of. Whoops it. Let me make sure that I'm actually doing this correct. Okay. Here we go. Okay, let me get you guys sorted. These are all the team news updates from the press conferences that I have seen so far. Let me get up the chat again. Sorry, I'm all over the place because haven't done this in a while, but it's good to be back. Let me get the chat up and see who's here. All right. How we going, guys? How we going? KM, such empty. Waiting for the main man. Main man's here. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Bro forgot. What did I forget, H? I'm not sure. Well, I'm here now, so. Hello, everyone. FPL Hawk. Hello, kind sir. Good to see you. Anonymous L. Hey, once again. Good to have you guys back. Good to be back. And yeah, looking forward to another season of FPL. As you can see, my squad has changed slightly. I've made 2 changes since my recent video that I posted today. Hamad R. Hi, Stephen. How are you, bro? I'm doing well. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Yeah, good to have you in. Guys, send in all your questions. Any questions you have. Team news questions too. Yeah, transfers, stuff like this. Dilemmas, 50-50s. These are the kind of things that I want to hear about today. So I'm looking forward to hearing all the dilemmas. I have a few dilemmas myself, as you can see. At least my team doesn't have any yellow flags. That was that was something that I was dealing with recently, but not anymore. Now that we see Rodgers is fit, which is great news. H, glad to have the streams back. Thank you very much. Glad to be back. SC, hello, Mr. Stephen. Hello to you. Hello to you. Anonymous L, prefer your current squad to the one in the vid. Okay, yeah, good to know. I mean, I think I do too. There's a few players that I'm not too sure about, but I just changed the keepers because the thing with Kelleher in the press conference, that really changed it for me. Because there's no other 4.5 mil goalkeepers that I'm actually interested in at all. So I just had to go for Sanchez. Yeah. Shinderu, thoughts on Palmer, Salah, Rangers, Fernandes? That's a brilliant midfield. Brilliant. FPL Hawk, not worried about Williams Mins. Started 74% of games last season without injuries. Also linked with Leif Davis and Simicast. Could be rotated, no? Yeah, I mean, definitely could be. I get the impression from what I've seen from Forest fans online that he is an absolute... Nico Williams is an absolute mainstay in that team. Apparently, it's his spot. Anyone else coming in is just backup. So that's kind of why I've gone for him. But I would not be lying if I said he's the one player in my team that I would absolutely love to upgrade him. I would love to upgrade him to Murillo, and I am heavily considering that. I'm heavily considering upgrading him to Murillo and downgrading Munoz to Lacroix. So let me actually let me pull up. You know what? I'm gonna add another. I wonder, can I do 2? I want to do like another sticky note. Maybe I'll get like a sticky note going. And I'll ask you guys a question. So, I'll ask you guys the question, the 50-50 dilemma that I'm dealing with right now. And hopefully, you know what, I'll do a poll. I'll do a poll for you guys. Let's get that going now. Okay. Right. I'll stick to some of your questions and then I'll do that closer to the deadline. Freddie Duncan, have you considered Strand Larson over Rodgers? I mean, I've considered Strand Larson, but not necessarily over Rodgers. Hamad R, why Williams over Murillo? Yeah, I mean, that's a move I would love to make. I would love to find... I'm trying to find the 0.5 mil. It is Munoz. I really like Munoz. I just... I'm not too sure about, downgrading him to Lacroix. It would be what do you call it? It would be another Crystal Palace defender. That is the one that I'm considering, though. Hamad. Claire Doherty. Thoughts on Evanilson instead of Mateta? Yeah, definitely one to consider. Definitely one to look at. And you know what? It's just the preseason. Like, I don't think he's had an amazing preseason. Let me back that up with my trusty preseason tracker from Fantasy Football Scout. If you guys want Fantasy Football Scout, there's a link. You can get a discount with my link in the description. I wouldn't say that just because, obviously I get a kickback whenever you guys use the link. I'm not just saying it for that. I actually think everything that they've done this summer and everything they have on their website is amazing. It helps so much. Including this, which is the preseason tracker. So you can see, yeah, Vanilson has had a good preseason. Like, he's had the second most minutes. This is ranked by minutes. So the second most minutes of all the players in Bournemouth's squad this preseason. He's got 2 goals, 1 assist. Kluivert is, as you guys saw with my note, Kluivert is in training, but I do not think he'll be fit for the match. It's just, the first match is against Liverpool, which is not ideal. So let me show you guys a few thoughts that I've been having with my team. So Mateta is another one that I'm like, I really want Mateta, but the fixtures are so tough. Like, I can rotate Munoz in and out, but I'm not going to be rotating Mateta because I really like rotating Munoz in and out. Like the Forest game, I like for him. Obviously, the Sunderland West Ham game, could play him for the Aston Villa game too. I really don't mind that. I do not mind that at all. Obviously, he's playing against Watkins and Rodgers there, so that's not ideal, but there is ways around it. But Mateta would not be rotating in and out of the team. So let me show you guys. Let's say, for example, I went for Milenkovic. That is an option for me. I could do that. It would just mean, yeah, I would downgrade Mateta to someone like Evanilson, or I could go for Joao Pedro. And then it's like, I have, negative 0.5 mil, and where do I get it? Do I go Munoz to Lacroix? I could do that. I really could do that, and I do not mind this squad at all. So let's save this squad for now, and then we'll come back to it. But yeah, there's so many things to think about. Let's see what other questions you guys have. Okay. H, the news about Beto correct? Him not being considered. Yeah, this isn't something that I've heard. Unfortunately, I haven't been online much today. FPL isn't my full-time job. I'm sure you guys know that. It's not my full-time job, so I haven't actually seen the Beto news. Let's see what you're getting at there. Beto has been told he is free to leave Everton after a bust-up with Moyes. Wow. That's huge news. That is huge news. Huge news. Interesting. Does he start up front this season? Yeah, they have Barry. This is crazy news. 10 hours ago, though, and it looks like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Source Football Insider. That's crazy. He's in my FPL, this guy says. Yeah, fair. Yeah, if you have Beto, I would get rid of him because this just seems, that seems like a huge issue. Let me put that in the sticky note. All right. Beto fight with Moyes. Beto fight with Moyes. Moisey. Okay. Yeah, make sure to consider that in your teams, guys. Leet Crew, hey GOAT, welcome back. Good to be back. Not sure if I'm the GOAT. I'll put that out there, but I'll take it. Callum Munty, good to have you back, man. Reinders or Wilson? As you can see, I'm an absolute Wilson shiller. I think he's just the biggest pre-season hype train that I can hop on, and I'm happy to be on that train. H, you said in my squad you really don't like Wilson. Fair enough. I love him there. I like him. Fulham, there's so many downsides to Wilson. There is so many downsides. He's not, his minutes aren't secure. The fixtures aren't great. And, Fulham aren't a high-scoring team normally, based off what we've seen in recent seasons, and especially last season. But his preseason form has been insane. 5 goals, 1 assist in 90 minutes. So, I was hooked the second I saw that. And he's 5.5 mil, so, there's just so much to like there. There's obviously other interesting 5.5 mil players like Rangers that Callum mentioned, but it's one of those ones where I just think the upside of Wilson is so much more than all the other 5.5 picks at midfield. Hamad R, are we able to send you our teams, Stephen? Would love your review. Yeah, sure, send it in, guys. Send in your teams. I'd love to have a look. Lead Crew, thoughts on Jorginho Rutter? Now, that is a player that I would love to get in my team. I would love to upgrade Wilson to Rutter, but just can't seem to find the budget to do that right now. SC, doing a differential team this year. Got some Menyo from the get-go. Unsure what to think of Ekitike till Isak joins, and debating Ndiaye and Dewsbury Hall. I mean, between Ndiaye and Dewsbury Hall, I think it's close enough that you go for Dewsbury Hall just because you're saving 1.5 mil, which is huge. And I really like the Semenyo pick, I gotta say. I really like him as a pick. I was going to go for him if Rodgers was confirmed out, because he's also 7 mil. Anonymous L, what are your thoughts on Wirtz plus Virgil van Dijk or Rodgers plus Porro? Oh, sorry, Wirtz plus Van de Ven, I'd imagine that is, or Rodgers plus Porro. I like Wirtz plus Van de Ven because for me, I really like Porro as a pick. I just don't know if I want a 5.5 mil Spurs defender. I'm not sure that's something that I want. I'm seeing John Gallagher. Hot tub stream, please. All right, don't beg for it, mate. Beto fight in the hot tub. Fucking hell, that's what him and Moisey were getting steamy in the hot tub apparently. Jeez, that's the news coming out today, boys. Finger on the pulse here. All right, FPL Hawk. I know it's one less starting player, but I want Anderson to a 4.5 mid in King and upgrade my 4.5 defender to Milenkovic, going 2 Forest defenders, starting with 4 at the back. Yeah, the thing with 2 Forest defenders, let me just take a sip while I mull that over. I do like the 2 Forest defenders, and I think it's probably the only defence I would consider going for 2, but just seeing the manager Nuno in an interview, I think it was yesterday, saying we are not ready for the season whatsoever, that's something that just puts me off them slightly. But I do think it's the only defence I would go for at the back with. And yeah, you said 4.5 mid in King at Fulham. He's a great shout. You know, if he nails down that spot, then absolute scenes, you know. And then, yeah, he's on your bench, so it doesn't matter, really, if he doesn't play much. Lead Crew, for your team, I think Porro and Nick and Richards would be better. Why Van de Ven and Munoz? The thing is, I'm only going to be playing the Spurs defender a few times over the next few weeks because, you know, I'm a clean sheets man, and I look at these fixtures. I probably only really want to play the Spurs defender here and you know, these 2 ones. I'm not going to play him against City or Bournemouth, hopefully not anyways. But that's, yeah, I don't want to invest too much from that perspective because I'll be playing the Palace player more, so I'd want to invest more in the Palace player, if that makes sense. H, for me, the same issue with Williams, but I'm already going cheap on defence, so getting that 0.5 mil is kind of hard. Yeah, it's tough. This year is really tough for FPL. Finding that Game Week 1 squad is really difficult. John Gallagher, your team doo-doo from Danny. Let's see your team, Danny. We'll go 1v1 this week. All right. Who else? Hot tub stream. Boys, it's not going to happen. It's already hot enough here. It's not going to happen, I promise. Maybe if Harry Wilson scores a hat-trick the first game week, we get a little hot tub stream going. You could see all dissolving shorts and all. Okay. SC could drop Mateta until fixtures get better and upgrade to Murillo. Yeah, could be done. Could be done. I don't mind that. Zubi, Rutter and Nico Williams, or Reinders and Murillo. Also, who would you start? Rodon or Anderson? Tough one. I think Reinders and Murillo if I had to pick between there, and I'd start Anderson. Thoughts on Gibbs White diet? Yeah, I think he's a good pick. I think there's way better picks at his price point and cheaper because Forest aren't a team that score a lot of goals. LFC Cola, you're a gold member. Wow, welcome in. One of a select few. So good to have you. Appreciate it, man. Okay. Could go full Krug for now, SC says. Yeah, I mean, full Krug, I just don't want to invest in a West Ham attacker. I want to see how they play first, you know? We'll see how they play. for now, I know that, you know, the João Pedros, the Matetas, I trust them a bit more. Claire Doherty, what's your favourite 4.5 million defender pairing to rotate along two 5.5s? Look no further than my team, Van de Ven. Or if not Van de Ven, then I think Richards at Palace. Those two are those are two that I'm really really big on. I think they're two good picks, and yeah, they could rotate with two, you know, 5.5 premiums. I don't mind that at all. Gur McKay says, am I crazy going for Bowen? Don't see him in many experts' teams. Well, I really like the Bowen pick. I just think at 8 million, it's a lot to pay for a West Ham striker. That's all I'll say. I think there's better picks, you know, in better teams like João Pedro. I know his minutes aren't as secure, and he's not on penalties. The goals will be spread out more in the Chelsea team. All those things combined probably makes me take Bowen instead, but it's that 0.5 mil that makes a difference, isn't it? SC, I'd take news on Everton with a pinch of salt. News came out that Moyes doesn't like Beto, but turns out to be fake. Well, I've already got Beto fight with Moyes in my... So I've absolutely nibbled on that news. But yeah, apparently it's fake. Before I get carried away, guys, I do this every time. Let me... Sorry, I've just seen John's text. All the lads copying my team. My brother plays in the MLS for Austin FC, and he's just told all his teammates that I'm streaming and I'm FPL streamer, and they've all gone and copied my team. Fair play, lads. You know where to look. Look no further than FPL Gallagher. Okay, LFC Cola. Hi, man. Having last minute worries with Kelleher. Don't have the funds for Sanchez. Would you recommend sticking with Kelleher in this scenario, or go for Verbruggen or another 4.5? Yeah, I would go for Verbruggen. If you are going to go for another 4.5 million keeper, I think Verbruggen is the one, for sure. Just because Kelleher is, you know, there's no definite answer on whether he's going to play or not, and I don't think the risk is worth it there. So let me set a little timer. In 15 minutes, we're going to have to lock this team in. That doesn't seem like a lot of time. I know we've had FPL for so many weeks, but I still can't seem to decide on my defense. Everywhere else is pretty much locked. It's tough though. H, you don't like Wilson, but you're going to go for it. Jumping on the hype because of me. Welcome on the hype train. Welcome. Okay. SC, to be fair, money-wise, I've got 10 mil to spare. Haven't got anyone priced over 10 mil. That's crazy. Get some premiums in your team. I mean, yeah, maybe even one of... you don't have to go Salah or Haaland, but yeah, I guess you could go for Palmer. You've probably just got Saka. You got Saka and Watkins and Gyökeres, I'd imagine, which, you know, could be a big differential play, but if Salah, Palmer, Haaland start to pop off, you could be in a bit of trouble. Could be in a bit of trouble. FPL Hawk, Ben Crowlin went Murillo over Milenkovic and Mateta over Pedro. Yeah. I don't mind that. I've had Murillo in my team. Let me show you the team that I am most likely to end up on. Let's fix this because we've only got a bit of time left. Murillo is that you know, defensive contributions expert. I've had Mateta in my team. It was only today that João Pedro has sort of crept his way into my team, but I'm going to stick with Mateta. The reason I'm kind of getting a bit cold feet with Mateta, I know his preseason form has been amazing, but Eze potentially leaving puts me off him just slightly, and that's obviously a bit of a concern for me. Now, Ait Nouri is one that I've had in my team, and I'm very excited because I know he's pretty high owned, but I think in the FPL, let's say, community, you know, the people that really watch a lot of FPL content, I don't see Ait Nouri in any other content creators' teams, let alone, you know, other people that I've been talking to, people who watch FPL, stuff like that. So, yeah, I've not seen Ait Nouri in a lot of teams, but he's pretty high owned, you know? So I think he's a good pick. He's a huge risk. Let's be real. He's a huge risk, and you're risking a lot with a 6 million player. I just think that with Gvardiol potentially out injured, it increases Ait Nouri's chances of playing massively. I don't think if I heard Gvardiol was 100% fit, it would have put me off Aitnuri anyways. But I just really like him, and I don't think he's being talked about enough. What do you guys think? Because I think he's a great pick. I need some reassurance here. Reassurance is what I need here. James, I've got Caicedo and 0.5 mil in the bank. Go to Rutter instead, or another 6 mil. I like Rutter. Yeah. Go Caicedo up to Rutter, or if you want to take a cheeky punt on Harry Wilson at 5.5, could be the one. Join in on the train. Plug Boy Varm, wouldn't you say Nico Williams and Munoz holds more value than Milenkovic and Lacroix? Yeah, so this is what I've been thinking about DEFCON and this decision of, Murillo, Lacroix. Let's get the poll going, because I really want to see what you guys think about this. Okay, let's do one. I mean, I'm trying to get one going, but I'm absolutely shocking with how to do these polls and stuff. Okay, so let's do a little poll on this, and the poll will basically be Murillo and Lacroix or Williams and Munoz. And the more I think about it, I'll show you my preference. It's probably something more along this line. It's just the thing I'm thinking, right, is if I'm getting Williams and he doesn't get CBIT, he doesn't get DEFCON points, it's one of those ones where, like, I don't think he's going to get many assists because he plays for Forest and they're not a huge attacking team. So that's very difficult to... It's a tough one. And then with Munoz, again, if he doesn't get attacking returns, the DEFCON isn't necessarily going to be there. I know he hit it a few times last season, but he's not a DEFCON pick. Whereas the likes of Murillo and Lacroix, they're two players that they don't need clean sheets. They could get the DEFCON points, and they're just going to be ticking along. But the high upside, you know what? Let's go for the high upside players. Let's go for the high upside pick. We're going to do it, guys. There we go. This is likely what I'm going to end up on. Let me get him off the pitch very quickly. Make sure Salah is captained as well. That's important. And I'll put, you know what? Let's do vice captain on my second most expensive player. Usually a good way to play the game, isn't it? Top quality analysis here. Okay. Let's get back to some of you guys' questions. Hamad again. Hi, Stephen. I wrote my team up above. Would love your opinion. It's Sanchez, Dubravka. Nice one. Defense is Milenkovic, Juve, Porro, Esteve, Konza. Yeah, nice. Mids are Salah, Palmer, Reinders, Wirtz, and Rogers. Attack, João Pedro and Watkins. I mean, your team is very similar to mine. I really like it. You've gone heavy in the midfield, which is good. I think that's a great way to play the game. You've gone for basically my team, except Reinders instead of Wilson, who I have, and Wirtz instead of Gakpo. And obviously you've used that, you've put that 1 million from Wirtz and you've taken it out of your defense, whereas I've put it into my defense. We'll see how it goes. Our teams are very similar, so obviously I really like yours. LFC Cola. Sorry, man. Defense currently Milenkovic, Van de Ven, and Aitnuri. Or is that Virgil? Milenkovic, Van de Ven, and Aitnuri. Thoughts on Murillo versus Milenkovic? Thanks so much. Yeah, I think I like Murillo. The more and more I've thought about it, Milenkovic has a way more attacking potential than Murillo, but I'm really going to be getting that. I'm going to spend that 0.5 mil extra to go for the DEFCON points. I feel like that's what you're paying for with Murillo. Sorry, someone like over Williams, let's say. Murillo and Milenkovic obviously the same price. I think you're going for the DEFCON with those players. And Milenkovic, obviously he has that attacking threat, but Nico Williams has more DEFCON per 90 than Milenkovic. And Forest aren't a particularly high scoring team anyways. So I think all that points me towards going for Murillo, because they're going to be getting the DEFCON points, and he's the biggest hitter for DEFCON in that Forest team. So I'm just going to reply to a few texts. Stream now. Okay. De Kuyper risky. I mean, De Kuyper is a bit risky. You know what? He is a bit risky, but he's a risk that maybe you'd be willing to take. you know, because of how attacking he is. We just haven't seen him in the Prem yet, so it's a wait and see for me. As you can tell, I've not got any players who have never played in the Prem. That's something that I believe in. I do not get players who haven't played in the Prem before. Like someone like Wirtz, I think, is the exception because we already know how good he's going to be. But yeah, other than that, I'm a bit wary, you know. Yeah, I'm a bit wary on players who haven't played in the Prem, like De Kuiper. But I do like Brighton assets because they don't have Europe this season, so I think they're just going to put everything in on the Prem and actually do quite well, if I had to predict. Okay, KM, why not Porro over Van de Ven? Yeah, I mean, I would love to get Porro in. It's basically Van de Ven and Munoz, or Porro and Richards. And that is so close. Now that I say it out loud, that is actually so close. Let me try do a poll real quick. How to do a poll? I feel like I had the option to do it last year, and now I don't have a option to do polls. Maybe my streaming software has updated a bit. Okay, let's open it up again. I'm opening it up and closing it. But instead of worrying about my team, let's see your guys' team. Offside Footy F1. Great. Hello, mate. Great to see your stream back. Good to be back, man. Good to see you too. I think you have a lot of recency bias in your team selection. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Who in particular are you? Who in particular from this team is recency bias? I guess Mateta with his preseason form and Wilson. But as I said in my videos, I'm always happy to go for a few preseason hype trains, and Wilson is that guy. Wilson is that guy for me. But who do you look at this team and think there's some recency bias there? Not that I'm saying there isn't. I definitely think there is. Marine Kapic, would you consider Munoz to Richards and Wilson to Sar/Ndiaye? Yeah, I mean, if I was to go for one of the 6.5 mil mids, it would be Sar. And that's actually a move that I would heavily consider, to be honest. Looking at that, I actually really like the look of that. It's a good one. It's a good one. I feel like Sar is such an underrated pick. It's just, do I want double Palace attack with Eze potentially leaving? I've already got Munoz, so then it would be triple Palace, you know? And their fixtures aren't even that good to go for triple. I don't know. I feel like that's a tough one. That is a tough one, to be honest. Minutes getting shared with Delap for João Pedro and around Chelsea in general. Yeah, I mean, João Pedro is one of those picks that I would love it if I knew he was starting over, you know, obviously I actually do think he's going to start. If I knew he was going to get every minute, he would be one of the first names in my team sheet, if not the first name after Salah and Palmer, let's say. But we just don't know that. I see some 60-minute subs for João Pedro in his life at Chelsea. He's not, you know, he's never been a 90-minute man, really. He's always been very injury prone. Let's you know, take that into consideration with João Pedro. And Mateta is just that 90-minute man, you know? Obviously, Eze leaving is a huge thing to consider with Mateta, but I could see him, you know, he's going to be hopefully taking those pens, if not Eze. Yeah, it's a tough one, but I think it just edges from Mateta based off his preseason form. Not that João Pedro's not had good form either, but it's one of those ones that it's a toss-up for the 7.5 mil forwards. Gotta be it's gotta be Mateta for me. LFC Cola, thoughts on triple captain Salah? Is it too risky? Yeah, I don't know. Is it even that risky? Because we know he's gonna start. So like, is there a risk there? I suppose the only risk with that is that we just don't know what the teams are gonna look like. We just don't know that. You know, we don't know how good Bournemouth will actually be. Everyone expects Bournemouth to be terrible, but Will, I see you're spamming. Is Watkins, Wood and Pedro attack a bad idea? No, I really like it, to be honest. Really like it. Don't need to spam it though. I'll get to everyone. I will do my best, but it worked. I did read your question, so fair play. Okay. I'm going back to what Marine said. Would you consider Munoz to Richards and Wilson to Sar/Ndiaye? That is something that I actually really like the sound of. But I'm happy enough to have invested some money into the defense. The thing that I see with this team is that there's no DEFCON in this team. Maybe Nico Williams. I guess Van de Ven is a DEFCON. He's centre back, but Munoz and Ait Nuri are not. As much as I've been harping on about DEFCON players, yeah, it's just not one that I've actually gone for in the end. It's actually not one. Okay, Yarrick Sundling, best 4.5 rotation, not Spurs players. I like Richards at Palace, I really do. I also like Dorgu as a pick. I do think United will be better this year. I mean, it would be amazing. It would be like shocking if they were worse, because how could they be worse than how they are now? How they were last season, sorry. Like, how could United be worse than that? So you'd expect them to be better, and Dorgu is, I think it's his spot. I think he's a lock-in on that left wing-back role for Amarim. And yeah, he's a wing-back, We love wing-backs in FPL. So that just is a pick that has so much upside. So yeah, that's another 4.5 that I really like. Yeah, offside footy, Wilson and Mateta. Yeah, those are the two hype trains that I'm on. Mateta historically slow to start the season. Not something that I was actually aware of necessarily, especially with how bad the fixtures are for Mateta. It's one of those where I'm so tempted to just get João Pedro in, but it's so tough. I've just got to stick to my gut. My gut is that Mateta is gonna have a great season. I think he's gonna have an amazing season. That obviously hinges a bit on Eze and whether he stays or not, but it's just an instinct that I have. It's just an instinct. I really think Mateta's gonna have a season. Richard, Wilson over Anderson at 5.5. Listen, if you want to play it safe, Anderson is that guy. He is that guy to go for at 5.5 because he's got DEFCON in his back pocket and he's also got a bit of attack and threat. I think he had a good few goal involvements last year from what I've seen. So that is my alarm for 10 minutes to go, guys, and that goes to all you too. 10 minutes to go. Info surge. I've got Van de Ven over Richards today because you bench boost. Okay, nice. Yeah. Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, I like it, to be honest. Both are good picks. Why are no content creators picking Gakpo because of Isak? I don't know, Sam. I think Isak is putting a lot of people off. From what I've gathered, talking to Liverpool fans, and I know people always say this. I was talking to X team's fans. I was talking to the Everton fans or the Bournemouth fans or the Liverpool fans in this case. People say this all the time, and how much do fans really know at the end of the day? But it is their belief and understanding that Gakpo is going to start on that left wing, even if Isak comes in. Because Ekitike, people say Ekitike is going to play there, potentially even Isak eating up a few minutes for Gakpo. They just don't see that necessarily happening. That is not their preferred position, and it is Gakpo's position. So I think his minutes are fairly secure to start the season anyways. Offside footy F1. Do you think Sarr is a better pick from Palace for fixtures against Chelsea and Villa? I've seen Sarr struggling against blocks, but tearing high line attacking teams. Also, Eze leaving might affect Palace. Yeah, I've seen this analysis as well, offside footy. I think it's a really interesting one. Looking at the difference between the teams that Sarr plays against. Bad fixtures aren't necessarily bad for him. It's quite interesting because with his pace and the way that he plays, he's so effective playing against high lines. But against blocks, he's just not. It's not his preferred way to play football. So he's really effective against teams like Chelsea, like Villa, who like to be on the ball up high on the pitch. Could it tempt me to go for Sarr instead of Rodgers? It definitely could. Could it tempt me to go for Sarr instead of Wilson? That definitely could. But I've just got to go with my gut. I think I'm happy enough to have Wilson in my team. And yeah, the thing about Eze potentially leaving, is it something that should put me off Sarr completely? Eze leaving? Like, I feel like Eze makes their team so much better. And if you lose a great player, your team's going to be worse overall and your attack is going to be worse because Eze just makes so much happen for that Palace team. Giovanni De Benedetti says, one between Juve, Richards, Van de Ven. I would go for, only picking one. Depends on the rest of your team, but I do think I mean, it's between Richards and Van de Ven. I'm not huge on Juve. Like I said, I don't really like picking players who have never played in the Prem before. I do think he's a quality prospect, but yeah, it's between Richards and Van de Ven. Depends on the rest of your team and what the rotation looks like. If you need someone to play this week, then go for Van de Ven. If you don't, and you can wait a bit, then go for Richards. That's what I say. Guys, I'm actually tempted to go for Sarr now instead of Wilson. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I have to start Wilson this week. Not the worst thing in the world, but is it better to play Wilson against? You know what? Let's do some digging. Am I really doing this? 7 minutes before the deadline. Let's go on to Rob T because his analytics are insane. I love looking at his stuff. Okay, so these are win, draw, loss odds. This is what we're looking for. So who has the best projected goals and clean sheet odds? In fact, we could do it over multiple games, which is even better. So if we look at this, we could see Palace. Where's Palace? 1.1 goals projected this game week compared to Fulham, 1.2. Okay, so I guess Wilson does have the better fixture this week, and then the next week, Crystal Palace have slightly better goal projections, followed by and then the next week after that. It looks like over the long run, definitely Palace trump Fulham, but only by a little bit. So I'm willing to take that risk on Wilson based off his preseason form and all the news around Eze potentially leaving. Just puts me off Sarr slightly. I'm going to remove this Beto fight with Moyes thing because apparently it could be a bit of a piss take. So Hale, good to see you back, man. What about Reinders? Yeah, Reinders is a great pick. If I wasn't going for Wilson at that 5.5 mark, I would go for Reinders. I really like the look of him in that. I mean, obviously the City fixtures are insane, and then his preseason game where he came on against Palermo, that was crazy. That I think that hooked a lot of people in, and rightfully so. But I just think Wilson's a bit of a even higher upside than Reinders. So yeah, LFC call it don't triple Palace. Yeah, good shout. I've backed off from that. Yeah. Marine, start with Sarr and João Pedro. Switch to Mateta game week 4. I could start with João Pedro. I mean, look at those 3 fixtures. They're terrible. They are really bad. And also the thing that I don't like is that I have Mateta playing against Sanchez and Nets. Then the following week I have him playing against Forest. That's not ideal. I guess I don't have. Oh, do I just go João Pedro? I'm going to go for the minutes man in Mateta. There's so much pointing me against Mateta and towards João Pedro, but I've just got to go with my gut, and I think Mateta could be the one. I think Mateta could be the one. Do you have a league that I can join, mate? I actually don't have a league this season, unfortunately. I feel like it's a bit too late to set one up now, or should I just do one quickly? Let's do a quick one, guys. Okay, create a league and cup. I'll call it FPL Gallagher. FPL Gallagher's league. Nice and creative. Okay, let's see. Invite people to join. Here we go, guys. Here's my league. Join it if you want. There's only a few minutes to go, guys, so let me try answer as many of your questions as I can. There's my league if you want to join it. Okay. So Hale, do you have a league? Yeah. Okay. So Hale, you have Mateta. Go with him. Mints, secured, and pens. Yeah. I like it. Let me put this here. Okay. And I'm going to go back here and just open up that little piece real quick so we have it handy. Okay, so you can see my team and the league. Okay. You can see both. There you go, guys. So that is my team. I've got Salah captained, which you can not see at the moment. There you go. Now you can. Yeah, guys, 3 minutes to go. Make sure you lock those teams in. I mean, Sohail, let me ask you. Let me, because you always give me some good advice, so I'm willing to take your advice here. I'm debating the combination of Munoz and Van de Ven, or Porro and Richards. And the reason I've gone for Munoz is that I'm actually going to be playing him more than I will be playing Van de Ven over the next 6 game weeks. I'm actually only playing, I mean, let me show you guys something interesting. A little bit of an analysis that I do is fixture rotations. So let me show you this. I'll put this back on the screen as well as this. But what you can see here is a rotation. It's basically a rotation metric. So it's a matrix for which teams to rotate in your defense. And Crystal Palace, Spurs, Forest, and Man City are 3 that I actually have in my team. And I'm really happy with that rotation. I only would play Spurs the 1st game week, the 4th game week, and the 6th game week. Whereas I would play a Palace player 1, 2, 3, 4. So I play a Palace player 1 more game in the next 6 than I will a Spurs player. And I just like the look of Munoz. I want to invest in the player that I'm going to be playing more. But yeah, what do you think? Porro and Richards? Or go for Van de Ven and Munoz, which I currently have. Let me take this off the screen since I've made my point. Okay. But yeah, guys, 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Richard, Bruno or Wirtz? I would go for Wirtz just to save that extra little bit of cash. But if you can find the 0.5 mil, I think Bruno is a better pick, to be fair. If it's not a money issue. Harry Widdop, Williams, Aitnuri and Rangers, or Murillo, Aitnuri and Dewsbury Hall, or Murillo, Munoz and Rangers. I like the look at the Williams, Aitnuri and Rangers, to be honest, Harry. I like that one. Will Mykolenko play Ross? I don't think he will, to be honest. I don't think he will. Let me take a screenshot of my team before the app quits out. Okay. There we go. And let me get the subs in too. Boom. Salah captained. Guys, lock those teams in. There's only 1 minute to go. Not even a minute to go. Plug Boy Varm, you think the Munoz option is better? Well, I'm glad to hear. That's music to my ears. I just need I need some reassurance there. So, I mean, only human after all. But I do like the Munoz pick. From an analytical perspective, just the way I think about it is I'm going to be playing him more. Offside Footy F1, Munoz has more attack and upside. Van de Ven will give you better clean sheet points, giving Spurs solid defence going forward. The other thing I thought about was that, Porro is a 5.5 mil Spurs defender. And, while I do understand that Spurs are going to be a better better defensively with Thomas Frank coming in, I'm just not sure I can justify paying 5.5 for a Spurs defender. But obviously he is very attacking and on set pieces. That being said, guys, it's done. Deadline has arrived. It is 6:30 UK time, which means that everyone's teams should be locked in now. I mean, I hope you guys made it in time. And yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's this is a good team to start the season? I'm very happy with where I've landed. I've thought about it way too much, honestly, way too much, but we've got there in the end, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to this season. Before I dash, I'm going to stick around for maybe 5 more minutes. Also, guys, I'm going to be at the Fantasy Football Fest tonight. I'm actually going to head in about 30 minutes, so I'll make it there before the kickoff for the Liverpool-Bournemouth game, which I sincerely hope that Bournemouth score, because I don't have a Liverpool defender. And if you guys want an explanation for why I don't have a Liverpool defender, I can surely give you one. But for now, yeah, if any of you guys are going to the Fantasy Football Fest, it's in Vauxhall in London. So yeah, if you guys are going, let me know. Harry, great stream today, Stephen. Thanks for the help. No problem at all, Harry. Stephen, big ups. Appreciate it, man. LFC Cola, thank you so much. No, thank you, man. Good to have you, and I'm glad you're a member of the channel, so I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, looking forward to this season, guys. It's going to be good. Drop in the chat if any of you guys are actually going to come to this Fantasy Football Fest thing. I think it'll be fun. There'll be a lot of people cheering on Salah if he scores, I can imagine, and I hope Wirtz doesn't. I'm sure a few of you are hoping Wirtz does, but I'm not one of them. Sohail, Joined late, but stressful picking this team. Good luck, mate. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. Yeah, it's been stressful, but we got there in the end. Offside Footy F1. What are your thoughts on current user interface of FPL app and web app? I think it's too much of a shit overhaul they have done. I think it's been absolutely disgraceful. It's like they've got some intern in and they used ChatGPT to do the whole thing. Honestly, it's been shocking. Like, the whole user interface has been terrible. The app keeps lagging. I mean, sometimes you can't even open it. You can't even get in. It's actually been so shit. So yeah, the whole, like, they could have just left it as it was and there had been zero problems. But I don't know why they feel the need to, I mean, who knows? It's probably some corporate people coming in and saying, you know, we need to refresh this every single season, because they do change the look of it every year. But how hard is it to just, you know, not change the whole interface, but just change a few cosmetic things? I think that's all people really care. So yeah, I mean, it's not one of those ones. Focal raid, wow, Focal, thanks very much. Good to Focal better. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Hugh, not gonna argue against that one. Focal is an absolute legend. Join the league, guys, if you haven't already. Yeah, this is my team. Focal. Whoa. I'm seeing some crazy things in the chat. Apparently Focal has been doing something with my mother, which is, you know, absolutely crazy of him, but fair play to him anyways. Focal, thank you so much for the raid. That's much appreciated. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think of this team. Tear it apart. What do all the Focal fans think of this team? I know he's got some. I know some of his fans do very well in FPL, and you know, probably, I'm gonna say hopefully did better than me last year. But Focal's a brilliant content creator. I absolutely love his videos. Even before I was making videos, I was always watching Focal's videos. During COVID, I got absolutely obsessed with his channel. I think he's brilliant. So really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. And glad to have all you guys here. Nightmare moments. Happy new FPL year. Don't like Gakpo. Oh, that's unfortunate to hear. I actually really like Gakpo as a pick. John Gallagher. What is Focal? What's going on? Focal is one of the best FPL YouTubers going, and he's just rated me. So that's what's going on, Johnny boy. That's who your mates. That's who your teammates should have copied, not me. They shouldn't have been copying my team. Yeah, Chance Cleta, Gakpo optimism, real faith. Yeah, I mean, I'm optimistic about Gakpo. EE goal getter, who are you? Well, welcome to the channel. My name's Stephen, FPL Gallagher, otherwise known as now Footy Stats Lab, but people, the OGs know me as FPL Gallagher. That is who I am. But yeah, oh wow, I can't believe Focal rated the channel. I know he posted about me on his Twitter a little while back, and that really shot up my YouTube career massively, so I owe a lot to him there. That's massive. Offside Footy, Gakpo is going to tear that left wing. I think Gakpo and Wirtz are going to be top scorer tonight. Yeah, I mean, I would hope to agree with you, but I'm going to change that slightly to Gakpo and Salah, because I do have Salah captained. But no, I have huge faith in Gakpo. I think that's his left wing spot. I know everyone talking about everyone coming in, like, you know, Isak coming in, Ekitike taking over that left hand side. Neither of them are left wingers. That's to be honest, that's absolute nonsense to me. I know Ekitike can play on the left wing, but he's not a left winger. He's a striker. They bought him to be a striker. They didn't buy him to challenge Gakpo's minutes. So I think Gakpo is a great, amazing value pick. If he gets the minutes there, he'll be one of the best value picks in FPL this season, and I'm going to hang my hat up on that one. Yeah, I think he's better than Wirtz as a pick, actually. I'll say that one. That might raise a few heckles. Gakpo is a better pick than Wirtz, and I'm only saying that, and I'm not necessarily saying Gakpo is going to outscore Wirtz over the season. I just think that the value per million is what I'm getting at. He's a very, you know, He's 1 million cheaper. He's 1 million cheaper than Wirtz, and if he gets the same amount of minutes, I guess I could see him outscoring Wirtz. I almost see Wirtz, he could be one of those players that is like, he's one of those guys that he gets the assist to the assist. Now, not on the level of, let's say, Odegaard, who that is his bread and butter, but on the level of, just slightly above that, a bit more output than that. EE Goal Getter, does the winner of your league get a shout out on YouTube? Whew, I guess they do, yeah. I guess they do now. That's a great shout. Good idea. Jamie Brown, thoughts on Rutter as a differential? Yeah, Rutter is one of those that, like, I would have loved to upgrade Wilson in my team. Let me just put this guy. If he could have become Rutter, I would have loved that. I just couldn't find the 0.5 mil to make it happen. Just couldn't find the 0.5 mil to make it happen. Junaid Din says, the site allowed me to make changes 1 minute after the deadline. I mean, maybe that's the positive of how shit the FPL interface has been this preseason. You're allowed to make changes after the deadline now. I mean, good to have all the FPL focal guys in here. I mean, yeah. He's a quality content creator, and obviously a great guy that he's willing to dish out a few, to bring his fans over to the page. So I really appreciate it. Offside Footy F1, thoughts on United's structure this season? Saw many people going for Bruno. I mean, yeah, but meh. Yeah, I mean, United is one of those where I do think Bruno is a super safe pick, just because he's so consistent. You look at Bruno's output over the past few seasons, he's so consistent, right? His output has been amazing. But with this United team, there's so much shake-up. There's never been more shake-up in the attack. And I just feel like that's one of those ones where, it just put me off Bruno, even more so than his price. Obviously, his price is enough to put me off. But, yeah, it's one of those ones. I'm a United fan. I grew up a Man United fan. But I just don't trust us until I see us play a single game. And obviously, the fixtures aren't even there. It's a bit patchy. So Offside Footy F1, I want to hear what you think about Man United, because you always have really good analysis. But my analysis is that it's still a wait and see. Yeah. Everyone's saying the site is awful, site and app down. It's been absolutely shocking. It's been absolutely shocking, guys. They need to fucking sort this out. Like, I can't believe they made all these changes. And then they waited so long. They waited so long to get the app up and running before the season started. They should have given it way more time so they could have fixed everything, but it's so tough. It's so tough. Like, they should have done it way earlier, and they could have fixed all these issues. But now they've been scrambling. James Obimbo says United looking great in preseason. Yeah, I mean, hard to deny that. Preseason is not the best indicator of how they will perform in the actual season. It's a completely different ball game, But I do think it is a slight indicator. Obviously, if a team is absolutely firing on all cylinders in preseason, then yeah, you're more than justified. Look at me, I've got Harry Wilson in my team. Who am I to say anything about picking a player based off preseason? And Bruno Fernandes is that guy. Man United have looked good, but there's just so much shake-up, and the fixtures aren't necessarily there. So that's my justification for not going with Bruno or any Man United players. Nightmare Moments, do you have a chip strategy? Because I think the bench seems good for bench boost. Yeah, it's one of those ones where I have looked at the chip strategy for this team. The way I've been talking to other content creators about this and other people in the FPL space, I feel like I'm so happy to go without a chip strategy right now, because there's no double blank game weeks for the first half of the season. And that makes chip strategy so much easier. It makes chip strategy is much easier whenever there is blanks and doubles, because it's so obvious. I play my free hit in this blank, I play my bench boost in this double, etc., etc. But there's only single game weeks, so it's entirely team dependent. I've kind of been putting off looking at chip strategy because we just have so many options, and I'm going to play it as it goes. My one strategy is not to use any chips for the first, let's say 3 to 4 game weeks. This team looks great for a bench boost in game week 5. If all of these players are playing, that is, obviously, it's one of those ones where if all of these players are playing, game week 5 looks amazing for bench boost, just based off the fixtures. I'm happy to play a bench boost whenever I have a benching headache. That's kind of how I'm approaching it this year. I almost refuse to make any sort of plan on my bench boost. So yeah, that's my chip strategy, is to not have one. Offside footy. No analysis as of now. Think United have had best transfer window in a decade. This could change the way they are perceived as an opponent. But honestly, they need a top centre back and defensive mid. Yeah, I think everyone would agree we need a defensive midfielder. We being Man United. I think Man United need a defensive midfielder. And once that is sorted, it's so hard to look past them as an option in the Premier League because they don't have Europe and they have such a strong squad. After that transfer window, I agree. It's probably one of the best transfer windows I've ever seen for a team. In terms of, not just in terms of the players that they've gotten in, but in terms of the upgrades of the players that they've gotten in. Like the upgrade on that Man United attack is monumental. It's as if you saw, imagine looking at a team that finished that low down. Where'd they finish? 15th last year? Imagine a team that finished 15th. Historically, that would have been like a West Ham. You know, imagine West Ham go out and get Mbumo, Cunha, and Sesko. I mean, that's literally what we're looking at. The level, the improvement of the players that Man United have gotten in. It's really exciting as a Man United fan. I'm looking forward to how the season's going to go. Jonathan Clarick says, why no Everton players like Ndiaye or Tarkowski? So I didn't go for Tarkowski because Branthwaite pulled his hamstring in training and he's such a huge part of their defence. And I also think they've been dealing with a few injuries this preseason. They're a brilliant defence and the Everton fixtures are insane. Like, I've had an Everton defender in my team basically up until I saw that Branthwaite injury 2 days ago. Now I don't, which I'm upset about, but it's just you have to adjust and adapt. And then the reason I didn't go for an Ndiaye or like someone like a Dewsbury Hall, I do actually really like, if I knew Dewsbury Hall was going to play in that 10, he probably would have made his way into my team instead of Harry Wilson, and I would have made an upgrade somewhere, like probably Nico Williams up to Murillo or Milenkovic. But that's besides the point. I think I'm not too keen on Everton attackers. I think it's like a preconceived notion I have about Everton not being a good attack. I know they have Moisey in now and things might be different, but it's one of those ones where I just see Everton as not a very prolific attack, and I want players that play for prolific attacks. As you can see, I've got 2 Liverpool, 2 Villa, I've got a Chelsea attacker, I've got Crystal Palace, who on their day are a great attack. I mean, Harry Wilson plays for Fulham, they're not a brilliant attack, but you can't have it all. You know, I could have gone for someone like Rangers at Man City, who are a great attack, but I feel like the goals are a bit more spread out with Man City, and I'm just not sure about Rangers' positioning. I feel like Wilson's one. He could have a breakout season, could have a big season for Wilson. He's such a good player. I love watching him play. I've seen him play live a few times. He always catches my eye whenever I'm watching. I see someone said Wirtz might be a second assist farmer, but I went with him to start anyways as Gakpo looked invisible against Palace. Yeah, fair enough. It is only one game, to be fair, against Palace. Yeah, it's one of those ones, you know. It's a toss-up between Gakpo and Wirtz, and I think because it's a toss-up, I've got to go for Wirtz because you saved that 1 million. Jonathan, who said, Finton Duffy says, chip strategy to land after international breaks. That's the mindset I'm going with. Don't think about it until after the international breaks. But on that note, guys, I'm going to leave it there. I've got to make my way to Fantasy Football Fest. If any of you guys are going, let me know. It'd be great to see you there. But yeah, I'm going to get myself ready and make my way over to the venue so I can watch the Liverpool-Bournemouth game. Really looking forward to it. I hope Bournemouth score. I hope Salah and Gakpo get a few goals. And, I hope neither team keeps a clean sheet. So I'm really looking forward to an exciting game. Before I go, James Abimbo says, your predictions for the top 4 in English Premier League by the end of the season. My prediction is that I think it's pretty boring. I think Liverpool will probably win. In second place, I could see one of Arsenal or City. I'm going to go for City just based off the depth that they have. Arsenal third, and then in fourth, Chelsea. I could even see Chelsea having a better season than City or Arsenal. So it's a really tough one. I really like the look of Chelsea this year, but yeah, that's tough. Could Chelsea do better than Arsenal this year? I'm going to go out on a limb and give you my final answer. Liverpool first, second Man City, third Chelsea, fourth Arsenal. That's my prediction. Offside Footy F1, what's your thought on De Kuiper? I remember seeing him during a recent Belgium game against North Macedonia, and I was like, who's that engine at the left back? We might see a crazy attack in 4.5 this season. I love De Kuiper. I've watched him for, I think a few months now since I heard the rumors, and I think he's brilliant. All the highlights I've seen, and obviously I've heard about him just from being a football fan in general. You know about these kind of players. He's an attacking fullback. So I'm really excited to see. That's the kind of player that Brighton love to have in left back. You know, like they had with Estupinian. He sort of teeter off, but yeah, De Kuyper could be that guy for them. I'm really excited to see how Brighton do this season. Really excited, and hopefully De Kuyper's a big part of that. But overall, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Thanks so much for tuning in, and good luck this season. It's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, really glad to see a few familiar names in the chat, and hopefully we keep that going over the season. I'm gonna try to really do a deadline stream every single game week before every deadline. I didn't do it last year. I only managed about 10. Obviously, I don't work full time in FPL, so I do my best, but I'm gonna make that a goal for mine this year, is to make the time to do that many. I'm really going to go for it. So hopefully see you guys next week. And until then, good luck this game week. And yeah, good luck for the whole season, but especially this game week. Hopefully everyone has a good score, but not as good as mine. All right, guys, have a good one. And yeah, good luck. Until next time.